As the evening sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the dinner table, a simple conversation between a husband and wife unfolded into a poignant narrative of love, betrayal, and reconciliation. "I've got something to tell you," he began, his voice barely above a whisper. What followed was a testament to the complexities of the human heart and the unforeseen sacrifices made in the name of love. This story navigates through the turbulent waters of a marriage on the brink of collapse, revealing the often overlooked details that weave the fabric of our lives together. The room was silent, except for the soft clinking of utensils and the distant hum of the city. As he held her hand across the table, his heart raced with the weight of the words he was about to utter. "I want a divorce," he said, his voice steady yet filled with a turmoil he could not fully mask. Her response was not anger but a quiet, piercing sadness that asked silently, "Why?" Her calm demeanor shattered as the reality of his words sank in. The chopsticks she held snapped in a moment of raw emotion, her voice trembling as she accused him, "You are not a man." That night the silence in their home was deafening, punctuated only by the soft sounds of her weeping. He lay awake, the gravity of his decision pressing coldly on his chest. The next morning, he presented her with a divorce agreement, offering her substantial material possessions. She glanced at the document only briefly before tearing it into pieces, her eyes filled with a sorrow that spoke of a deep, irreparable fracture. 10 years? For what? She whispered, her voice cracking as she turned away from him, her body shaking with sobs. Reluctantly, she laid out her conditions, 1 month of living as normal for the sake of their son. Every morning, he was to carry her from the bedroom to the front door. Though the request seemed absurd, he agreed, desperate to ease the tension. Little did he know this daily act would begin to mend the fissures in his heart. The first few days were clumsy, their bodies stiff and unyielding. But as the days passed, he began to notice the subtle scent of her hair, the softness of her skin against his chest. Memories of their early days together flashed before him, rekindling a flame he thought had long extinguished. With each day she seemed lighter in his arms, her body frail yet somehow more real. He noticed how her clothes hung loosely on her frame, her face more lined than he remembered. Guilt washed over him as he realized how blind he had been to her suffering, to the life they had shared. By the end of the month, what started as a burdensome task had become a moment of connection. On the last day, as he held her close, stepping through the familiar spaces of their home, a tear escaped his eye. "I do not want the divorce anymore," he confessed, his voice choked with emotion. That evening he returned home with a bouquet of flowers, only to find her lifeless in their bed. The truth then revealed itself. She had been battling cancer, enduring her pain in solitude to protect him and their son from further heartache. In her final days she had taught him the true meaning of love and sacrifice. In the quiet aftermath, he reflected on the small, everyday moments that they had shared, realizing too late that these were the true essence of their marriage. Love, he understood now, was not about grand gestures or material gifts, but about the quiet, steadfast presence in each other's lives. Even in her absence, her love remained, a gentle guide back to the heart of what truly matters.